Welcome to the deep dive. We're always looking for ancient wisdom that, maybe surprisingly, really speaks to modern life, to our well-being.
Right.
And today, we're diving into something, well, truly extraordinary, I think.
Yeah.
The Qhiraqhmah spiritual tradition. Specifically, the practices of its Qhiraqhmah priestesses.
Fascinating stuff.
Yeah, and we've got some incredible sources to work with. There's this really raw first-person journal entry from an initiate. It just pulls you right in. Then we have the more formal spiritual doctrines, detailed ritual descriptions, even a temple registry. So quite a mix.
A really rich picture.
Exactly. And our mission today really is to pull out the insights here on, emotional restoration, what they call sacred presence, and this unexpected power you find in stillness.
It's almost countercultural now, isn't it?
Stillness.
Completely. So think of this as maybe a shortcut to understanding these deep ideas, softness, strength, sacred space from a really unique angle.
And to kick us off, there's this one detail from that initiate's journal, her first day, that just stuck with me. She realizes stillness is not emptiness, it is listening.
Wow. That sets a tone. Listening.
Doesn't it? Okay, so let's unpack this journey. We start with Nomari Sayaran. It's her first day as a Qhiraqhmah initiate.
Right.
She writes about entering the temple, cloaked in silence, feeling her heartbeat, like she says, like the tide.
Vivid imagery.
It really is. And she sees these women rooted like trees, aglow with breath and stillness. And then a priestess touches her shoulder, and the touch is just knowing.
No explanation needed, just that feeling.
Exactly. And what's really striking is, on that first day, no chants, no scripts to learn. The instruction was just stillness.
And that's where the core practice begins, right? On day one, Qhiraqhmah breathing.
Tell us about that.
Well, it's immediately about embodiment. Initiates place one hand on their own chest, the other on the heart of the woman in front of them. No words, just connecting through the pulse. It's not about thinking about presence. It's about feeling it right from the get-go.
That physical connection, grounding it immediately.
Precisely.
And this presence, this embodied feeling, it leads to this huge aha moment for Nomari. She sees Priestess Selenia holding a seeker who's weeping.
Yeah, this is powerful.
And Nomari realizes the woman did not need fixing. She needed to be held. Just held.
And that right there, that's a core principle, isn't it? In our culture, we rush to fix, to solve.
Oh, absolutely. Offer advice, find a solution.
But this tradition points to the power of just, pure, unconditional presence, being with someone in their pain, not trying to take it away immediately.
It's a really profound redefinition of what support looks like.
It is, and Nomari's personal discovery here, it mirrors the formal initiation process, the Laalaë no Qhiraqhmah.
The soft veiling of devotion. Beautiful name.
It is. And becoming a Qhiraqhmah, it's framed as becoming a vessel for maternal presence, for emotional restoration, for divine stillness.
Not just learning skills, but becoming something.
Exactly. And they're chosen, it says, through an inner calling or maybe a sacred invitation from the community. It's not like applying for a job.
Right.
And the language is specific. They are veiled, not crowned, entrusted, not commanded.
That distinction feels important. Veiled, not crowned. What does that signal?
It signals humility, I think. Service. Their authority comes from within, from this sacred trust, not from some external rank or power structure.
Okay, so how do they actually step into this role? What does the initiation involve?
It starts with the sacred codes, the Qhiraqhmah. These are foundational principles.
Like what?
Well, there's the law of consent and reverence, crucial. Every ritual, every touch is offered, never imposed. Respect is paramount.
Makes sense.
And then the breath code. They learn to consciously use their breath, sometimes even matching the seeker's rhythm to help soothe and regulate.
Using breath as a tool.
A core tool. And then there's Qhira speech. This one's fascinating. Every word is weighed with care. The teaching is, your mouth may carry milk or ash. Speak like a sacred stream. It's about the immense power and responsibility of language.
Speak like a sacred stream. I like that. So intention in every utterance.
Deep intention. And this carries into the veil ritual itself, the Nefesa no Laalaë. An elder priestess places this veil.
And it's symbolic, obviously.
Highly symbolic. It represents the soft mystery of sacred presence, the priestess's humility, her emotional boundaries too, actually, and her entry into this lineage.
Lineage of refuge.
Yes. And as the veil is placed, there's a whisper. You are not above the seeker. You are their mirror made of moss and warmth.
A mirror made of moss and warmth. That's beautiful. But let's unpack that mirror idea.
Yeah.
How does that change the dynamic compared to, say, a therapist or a coach?
It's fundamentally different, I think. Instead of analyzing or directing, the priestess just reflects the seeker's own inner state, their own resilience back to them without judgment.
So it's about creating safety for self-discovery.
Exactly, a safe, non-judgmental space to be seen, fully seen, without an agenda. It shifts from intervention to accompaniment, empowering the seeker's own process.
That requires incredible self-awareness from the priestess, doesn't it?
Absolutely, which leads directly to the touch ethics and emotional resonance training.
Ah, yeah.
This is critical, learning to hold space without projecting your own stuff, your own needs onto the seeker.
Keeping it clean.
Very clean. And understanding maternal energy as sanctuary, not seduction. It's a very specific, grounded presence.
Pure. And then there's the naming.
Yes, the naming and spirit role assignment. Each initiate receives a new ceremonial name, like Qhiraqhmah, the one who softens grief.
So it reflects their specific gift or path?
Exactly, their unique resonance. And the ritual itself is lovely. The name is whispered into lavender milk sealed with petals. It really grounds them in their purpose.
So those first days, what a foundation. Learning to listen with the whole body, stay present with sorrow, honor themselves, and see tenderness as a discipline.
A discipline, not just a feeling.
Yeah.
It sets the stage for everything else.
So moving from the initiation,
Yeah.
how do these ideas play out in their daily practices? This is where it gets really interesting, especially the focus on the chest.
Right, the chest as a living altar, a center of serenity, rhythm, anchoring.
Yeah. So let's start with bosom meditation, Nakoros no Qhiraqhmah, the stillness within the sacred cradle.
Its purpose, fundamentally, is creating what they call a resting dimension, a space for the seeker to just be. Where silence isn't empty, it's alive. The body becomes this sacred field of trust.
It's not something you do, it sounds like, but a space you enter.
Precisely. You enter it.
And how does that work physically? The posture.
The priestess adopts the sacred cradle posture. Her chest is available, but the sources are clear, in a way that is honoring, not erotic, often wrapped in soft ritual fabrics.
Okay, setting a clear boundary and intention.
Absolutely. Then comes spiritual breathing synchronization. The seeker rests gently, maybe placing their ear near the priestess's heart, and they breathe together, allowing the rhythms to just naturally align. It releases tension, deepens trust.
That sounds incredibly intimate, but in a very sacred way.
Yes. And that shared breathing leads into the stillness of Qhiraqhmah, sacred silence.
And in that silence,
That's where the clarity comes.
Yep.
Ancestral healing, a sense of energetic safety, it returns. But they stress it's not therapy, not a talking cure.
it's presence.
Presence, sanctuary, soul warmth, healing through being, not doing or analyzing.
Okay. Then there's breast anointing. What's the purpose here?
This is about emotional renewal and energetic realignment. Honoring the chest not as an object, but as the sacred seat of nurturing, intuition, divine presence.
Reclaiming that space.
Exactly. It involves applying these consecrated mixtures. You mentioned lavender milk, rose milk, sometimes crushed pearl, sandalwood, spices like clove, cardamom, turmeric.
Wow, very specific ingredients.
Very specific.
Yeah.
And often done with gentle chants. The idea is to activate the chest as a channel of calm radiance and cleanse emotional residue.
Is there an example of a chant?
Yes. One example given is Qhiraqhmah, Natakara, Laalaë, which translates roughly to, I am the flame, I choose, I soften with sacred touch. It's an affirmation of gentle power.
I am the flame. I choose. I soften. Powerful. And you mentioned different milks?
Yeah, the sources note specific infusions for different states. Lavender and cardamom for grief, maybe.
Right.
Rose and clove for confusion. Turmeric and basil for overwhelm. It's quite nuanced.
A tailored approach. What about cradling rituals?
Ah, the philosophy here is beautiful. To be held is to be remembered by the divine. These are ancient practices, physical and spiritual holding, helping the soul return to its rhythm, offered during times of deep sorrow, confusion, big transformations.
And the priestess becomes...
the anchor of breath. Again, not by fixing, but just by being that steady, present anchor.
And there's something called the silent song.
Yes. Sometimes the priestess hums softly or just allows her chest to vibrate with these ancient ancestral lullabies. The idea is it activates cellular memory, a deep sense of safety and belonging.
That resonates. There's a quote here from an elder Qhiraqhmah. When I cradle a soul, I don't give them my strength. I give them my rhythm. The strength was always theirs.
That says it all, doesn't it? Shifting from being the source of strength to being the source of rhythm, allowing the seeker's own strength to emerge.
Completely changes the dynamic. Okay. What about silent holding? This sounds related but distinct.
It is. It's described as revolutionary care, healing in the absence of words.
Revolutionary because we're so word-focused.
Exactly. The priestess offers pure presence, not to fix, question, or explain, but simply to be. Just be there.
And the description, a sacred chest is not always a voice. Sometimes it is a sky, sometimes it is a pillow, sometimes it is the sound of no judgment.
Isn't that profound? It creates the space where tears can just flow without needing explanation or justification. A safe return to vulnerability, bearing witness.
Bearing witness without interference. Okay, now spiritual submission practice. The word submission can be loaded.
It can, but here the context is key. It's defined as to place the tense thread into the calm hands of the woven mother. It's about letting go.
So not power over, but yielding to.
Precisely. Ego unbinding and energy yielding. Imagine consciously setting down a heavy burden, trusting something larger, this divine maternal field, to hold it for a while.
Okay. Releasing stress, pain.
Exactly. The bosom becomes a symbolic altar for that release, a place of compassion and acceptance, not hierarchy.
That reframing is crucial. And finally, soul retrieval. This sounds intense.
It does, but again, the approach is gentle. It's about calling back fragmented parts of the self.
Parts lost through trauma or stress.
Presumably. But here's the fascinating part. It's not done by seeking those parts out. It's done by becoming still enough, safe enough for them to feel they can return.
So the stillness creates the invitation.
Yes. The priestess acts as a womb of resonance, a guardian of sacred silence, offering a resting place near her heart, creating the conditions for those soul threads to weave themselves back together.
Is there a chant associated with this?
A gentle, hummed chant. Qhiraqhmah nola naza, Laalaë sexora, meaning, return, beloved breath, stillness will sew you whole.
Stillness will sew you whole. And the seeker's affirmation.
Placing hands on their own chest. Nalirek, nakira, which is I return, I remember, a completion of the process, a return to self.
These personal practices are incredibly deep, but they also extend beyond the individual, right, into the temple space itself.
Yes, absolutely. Take temple cleansing. It uses breath and milk. The saying is, the breath is a prayer and the milk is memory.
Breath and milk. Not exactly standard cleaning supplies.
Not at all. It's explicitly not about harsh tools or scrubbing. It's an energetic realignment of the space.
How does that work?
It involves the breath of recalling. The priestess directs intentional breaths, maybe using mantras like La Nav, Alaki, Alakta, Kathur. I breathe, I clear, I bless.
Clearing the energy with breath.
Right. And then the milk of reverence, usually lavender-infused ceremonial milk. It's used to anoint altars, tools, thresholds.
Symbolizing what?
Divine nourishment, memory, the maternal embrace. The belief is potent. Where milk touches, dissonance dissolves.
Dissonance dissolves.
Yeah.
Powerful idea. Then there are the lunar breast vigils. These sound quite unique.
They really are. Sacred overnight rituals held on full moon nights for emotional renewal, spiritual lullabying.
Lullabying adults.
Yes. Attendees rest, sometimes beside, sometimes literally in the embrace of the priestess's head or heart, resting on their bosom for a sacred reset.
Wow. What's the structure?
It's designed for deep immersion. Starts with sacred anointing of the priestesses, then bosom meditation and lullabying. They sing these soft, ancient lullabies. One example is Ta le Serena le Kia, the Noa.
Which means?
Be still, be remembered, be home. Creating this resonant field to lull seekers into a deep state.
Be home?
Then comes the deep moon stillness, usually between 1 and 4 a.m. The most potent time. Seekers might cry, sleep deeply, receive insights or visions. It's a time of profound release and reception.
And who attends these?
What's notable is the inclusivity mentioned in the sources. Men, women, elders, youth, and gender non-conforming seekers are welcomed if they come in reverence.
So it's about the intention, not identity category.
Exactly. Reverence is the key.
Okay, one more community aspect. Dream channeling. This sounds like a very specialized gift.
It is, described as rare. When stillness deepens, the veil thins. Some priestesses, acting as these sacred vessels, can apparently dream on behalf of a seeker during deep rest.
How does that work? Do they interpret the dreams?
They receive symbols, maybe ancestral voices, inner knowing related to the seeker. But the guidelines are strict.
Okay.
They don't interpret without explicit consent. The channeling is always gentle. And crucially, the dreams belong to the seeker. The priestess is a conduit, not the owner.
Maintaining the seeker's autonomy, even in the dream state. Important.
Very important distinction.
So we've seen the initiation, the personal practices, the community rites. Finally, let's touch on the priestesses themselves. The temple registry showed they have specialized roles, right?
Yes, it's not a monolithic role. The registry gives examples that show real breadth.
Like who?
Well, there's Kira Dalvani, known for grief healing. The notes say she receives visions of past lives from seekers in trance.
Wow.
Then Kira Sanavia, who focuses on couples, balancing their emotional energies through something called dual soul bosom alignment.
Fascinating.
Kira Mavarella QAnon works with grounding, particularly noted for misaligned men and storm seekers, using specific breast rituals.
Storm seekers. Evocative term.
Isn't it? And Kira Nasima Laalaë helps those burdened by guilt or shame, offering purification and inner forgiveness.
A wide range of needs being met.
Definitely. Even the apprentice listed, Hira Talamara Nohe, has her specific offering, silent comfort for anxious seekers. And the note says she receives tears turned into pearls, a metaphor for the healing process.
Tears turned into pearls. It really shows the specialization in poetry within the tradition.
It does, a rich tapestry of service.
So, after this incredible deep dive, this journey into the Qhiraqhmah ways, what's the takeaway for someone listening right now?
Well, I think it's this profound commitment we see to stillness, to softness, to this specific kind of maternal presence, seeing them as truly potent forces for healing.
Yeah, forces, not weaknesses.
Exactly. It really challenges our modern ideas about what healing looks like, how we connect, how we find peace. It pushes us to look inward, perhaps, more than outward.
Absolutely. It feels like a direct counterpoint to the constant doing.
It really does, which brings up a big question, I think, for all of us,
Yeah.
In a world that's constantly pushing for productivity, for noise, for action,
Yeah.
how might embracing this idea of stillness as listening and this radical concept of sacred softness, how might that change our own ability to find peace? And maybe, just as importantly, how we offer presence to others?
That's the question to sit with, isn't it? How does embracing stillness and softness change things for us personally and collectively?
Yeah, a powerful counter-narrative.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive today. We really hope it's given you something to explore, maybe spark some thoughts about returning to your own truth and finding that soft strength within.